Rob, how's it
All
going?
right. It's going well, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? A day later.
Lots of emotions in the last 24 hours, that's for sure. Feeling pretty bummed of how everything kind of transpired. Um, but happy I'm back with my family and stuff, but would much rather be still fighting the good fight in the Big Brother house.
What do you think happened in there?
Hey, I think the back door was open for a strong competitor, and people decided to use that opportunity to get me out of there. I think the people that I trusted saw me as a threat and convinced people to go with the majority.
Uh, we saw that you had lent Claudia a sweater. Did you realize how upset Zach and Ty were about this?
I made a joke that I had to rewind the time back to high school when this was seen as something like, your girlfriend's rocking your varsity sweater around the school. But for the record, she came up to me and asked me for a sweater. And Renee had also borrowed the same sweater a day prior, and Zach also borrowed that sweater. So for me, I was like, okay, someone else just wants to wear this sweater. But I didn't know that it would have the same, or I wouldn't know the magnitude of what would happen after lending her the sweater for sure. But it's honestly, it's comedic for me. So I don't know, man. No more. After that, I was like, I'm not giving anyone any sweaters.
Well, so we saw Zach and Ty actually come up with the plan to take you out last week after complaining about a joke that you made about lending the sweater. Do you remember what that joke was?
To be honest, I have no idea what that joke was. So if you can refresh my memory, but if it
We
was
don't.
a
We
joke,
didn't see it, unfortunately.
yeah, I honestly don't remember. It was probably, something like, "Oh, be careful, she wore my sweater," because I had heard them talking about this sweater ordeal, and I told Claudia, I was like, "You better go fix this because like I don't want Ty thinking that I'm like lending you a sweater because like I'm interested or anything like that." And she's like, "No, this was old news," like, and it was like a hush hush thing, and I was like, "Okay, like whatever, like you have my sweater," and I was literally making jokes about it, like because I thought it was just very very immature, but it held weight. And I spoke to Ty on the day I left. He's like, you made a joke, and from then on I couldn't trust you because with every joke there's the truth. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? Like, anyways, I was in way other drama that I couldn't even consider the sweater issue to be a thing, but everything's escalated.
Yeah,
So
yeah. They said they were like he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing, making that joke in front of everyone. So
it wasn't my intention to cause that drama, especially with Ty. Like, I honestly looked at
mhm.
Ty as someone that I could trust in that game. And the most hurt that I probably felt in that game was when he approached me after the POV ceremony to tell me that, or before the POV ceremony
Mhm.
to tell me that I was on the block or going on the block. I didn't understand why he was in the room telling me this with Dan S. And I think at that moment it was evidently clear that he was involved in the back door.
Yeah. I guess to be fair to them, Jonathan did say in the episodes that wearing your hat really meant something. So I think maybe your clothes are just really powerful.
You know what? That was more from the heart than the sweater was. Okay. I wanted Big John to wear that hat, and that meant something to me. Anyone could wear the sweater. I don't care. But the hat, Big John, I left it there for him too. I was like, you better hold
Oh,
on to this, buddy.
well, there you
So
go. Uh, did you have any clue that Ty had turned on you? Because from our perspective, basically as soon as we started watching Ty, he was already like not super high on you. But you never seemed to distrust him.
so it's funny that people say this. So I don't know if people know this, but Ty, Jonathan, and I had created a bond early on,
Hmm.
apart from this big boys alliance, that we told each other that no matter what, or if this big boy alliance breaks, we have each other. And it was us three. So I was true to that. Jonathan was true to that. And we assumed that Ty was true to that. And within that alliance, I expressed my concerns for Zach. I said, we got to watch out for this guy because he's smart. He might turn on us down the road, but like, let's stick with it. Let's just not be oblivious to what he's trying to do. And I think I thought I could trust Ty with that conversation, and I was wrong. And I didn't realize how strong of a connection he had with Zach, and he was probably just relaying all those words to him. So.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about Shanaya and Santina. What's going on here?
Shanaya and Santina, great, beautiful people in the Big Brother home. Uh, Shanaya's a great girl. She's definitely herself. She's not scared to be herself. I believe that she had some emotions for me early on, and as much as I could have used that for my advantage, I think it was in my my best self to kind of put those at bay and express to her that I saw her more as a game player than as a romantic situation. Um, and I did grow fondly with Santina for sure, especially getting to know her more. There were definitely some feelings involved, which pains me to be on the outside because I couldn't see that blossom into something with more potential. So we'll see when we get out of here how that looks. But in the house, it was definitely something special, I thought, and yeah, just a little bit of drama with all of that.
Yeah. Well, we saw that Koozie, Daniel, and Anika seemed to be the group of votes that you needed in order to stay. Did you think that you had them at any point during the week or leading up to the vote?
So Koozie actually gave me her word. We were
Okay.
counting votes, and she assured me that she's my five. She told me that. I was on the exercise bike, and she said, "I'm your five, and I'll try to work on Anika and Daniel C." And I
When
trusted
was
that.
that?
This was maybe one day before the eviction.
Okay.
So she told me, and even up until the eviction time, I brought her into the pool room, and she assured me that she was going my way, and she said that your speech is going to dictate the next two, which was Daniel C and Anika. So whether she was just lying to me then and there, which clearly we see that might have been the case. It was unfortunate because I really tried to campaign with them, and I really wanted them to be players in this rather than just an afterthought.
Yeah, it's tough because we don't see a lot, but it did seem like maybe within the three of them, she was more pro you, and maybe it was Daniel that was a little more like, I don't know if we should go in this direction, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, which was unfortunate because I approached Daniel C early on in this game, week one, and I expressed that I wanted to work with him. I expressed that I had his back, and if he was ever in conversation for eviction, and I would kind of steer people a different direction, and he gave me the same type of confirmation. So I really did have his back, and I really tried to show him that and reassure him that he was safe if he kept me around. Um, but I don't think I sold him on it. And I think that he took the safe route to sticking by Ty and Zach, and I guess the rest of the group, Anika and Koozie.
Do you think there's anything you could have done to sway these three?
No, I don't think so. I was asking them to do something pretty courageous. I was asking them to, see what was going on, address it, and create an alliance with those with the same mindset. And it's a tough thing to ask people to do, especially this early on in the game, to take out those big forces, especially knowing that they could very well compete for HOHs and win HOHs, as we've seen. I wasn't scared to do that. I wasn't scared to take the heat for it. But it would ask them to kind of not draw a line in the sand, but to commit to keeping me around.
Who do you think is playing the best game in the house right now?
I think Koozie's playing a very strategic game. She's good with a lot of people in the house. A lot of people trust her. She has her Koozie Queen thing going on for her, and she knows when to stay quiet, and she knows when to kind of give her point of view. She spends a lot of time in the washroom, so I think she's out of the drama for the most part. She's just always putting on makeup and doing her thing. She's a pageant queen, so she's a smart girl as well. So she's playing a great game, and I think that she's going to go far in this.
Who do you think is playing the worst?
I think people are going to quickly see that Zach is running things, and I don't think he'll be around for too long. Other than that, everyone's playing a safe game, but they're just being persuaded. I thought Dan S could have used his HOH to show a little bit more credibility to his game. But he took the easy route and showed the rest of the house that he was easily swayed.
Were you, because we had seen that Jonathan was pitching to, I think Santina, that like he was thinking about pulling in a group that included Dan S. Was Dan somebody that you were thinking about like really actually trying to work with long term, or at least were open to it before he nominated you?
So because I didn't think Dan S was part of our big boy alliance, and I knew that Zach was potentially going to turn on me at pretty much any moment, I had expressed to Dan S that after his HOH reign, that I'd really love to kind of work with him to see how we can get some of the bigger threats out in this house. And he assured me that he would love to work with me. He assured me that I'm safe. We see eye to eye. It was very much so like, I got you, you got me type of scenario. And I saw how much of a competitor he was with coming real close in the POV and winning the HOH. So I was like, I could use this guy to help me and to help his game really take out some of these bigger threats. And I was definitely referring to Zach. But I guess he didn't consider that and decided to go the other way with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you chatting with me.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.